Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Drop a like on the video and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one of them. Thank you that I caught the scent of burning before the glow even reached the trees. My lodge, my retreat, my refuge, was lit up from the inside, echoing with voices that didn't belong anywhere near it. As I climbed the last step, frost snapping under my boots, I saw her standing there like she owned the doorway. My sister, chin lifted, eyes slicing through me, wearing that poisonous half-smile she usually reserved for people she considered beneath her. "What are you doing here?" "Get lost before I call the cops." I didn't even blink. I didn't argue. I simply walked past her as if she were an object placed in the wrong part of the room. "Try it," I murmured as my shoulder brushed hers. "If you think you can." The color drained from her face in a slow, perfect fade. In that split second, before she understood why she should be afraid, I felt something sharp and satisfying click into place. Not vengeance. Truth. People assume betrayal explodes, but mine seeped in quietly, disguised as love and trust. Mira wasn't always like this. She was a gentle one growing up, 3 years younger, leaning on me like I was a pillar keeping her upright. After our parents died, I paid her rent, then her degree, then the wedding she promised would be simple, but still somehow cost more than it should have. I wrote those checks with full heart, convinced I was investing in our bond. Her husband, Daniel, acted grateful too, warm, overly respectful, charming in a way that later proved to be camouflage. They loved my lodge, bragged about it to anyone who'd listen, calling it our place. I thought it was harmless. I thought they were proud. I thought family meant something. But love is a quiet room where deception practices its lines. The first sign came as a bland envelope from the property board. Nothing unusual, until I saw the signature. My signature. Except it wasn't. It was a transfer request, clean, bold, forged so it felt like staring at an imitation of my own soul. Mira's handwriting was all over it. She used to mimic my cursive as a kid, saying she admired it. Turns out she admired what it could give her. Small things followed. Utilities redirected. Lock swapped. My name slowly disappearing from official documents, while Daniel's slid into place. It felt like being erased letter by letter. But I didn't shout. I didn't confront her. I collected everything quietly, letting the evidence pile up like snow. There's a point where hurt stops being soft and becomes steel. Mine happened tonight. I drove to the county office and requested every parcel file linked to my land. The clerk hesitated, but she handed them over. The truth was all there, an entire transfer in motion, complete with falsified approvals and a claim that I'd abandoned the property. They weren't just stealing the lodge. They were trying to cut me out of my own life. They almost succeeded. Almost. People who think they're clever always expect noise. They never anticipate quiet precision. By the time I hired a lawyer, everything had been corrected. Ownership reinstated, forged signatures flagged, and a restraining clause waiting like a loaded trigger. All I needed was the right moment. So when I stepped into the lodge that night, I kept my voice calm. Daniel wandered out in flannel pants, beer in hand, acting like this was his living room. His mother perched on my leather sofa, glaring. Mira hovered close, unsure but still stubborn enough to pretend she had control. "What are you doing here?" she demanded. "Checking on what's mine," I answered. Her mother-in-law laughed. "This isn't yours." I laid an envelope on the table with deliberate calm. "Interesting," I said. "My attorney disagrees." They opened the documents. I watched the realization hit them one by one. First confusion, then denial, then pure panic. Every forgery, every fraudulent claim, every criminal implication lay exposed. Mira's voice cracked. You wouldn't do this. We're family." "You already did," I said softly. "I'm just walking the path you paved." When the sheriff knocked, because yes, I called before I even stepped inside, she looked at me as if I transformed into a stranger. She wasn't wrong. They were escorted out one at a time. Daniel blustered. His father yelled. Mira sobbed. None of it mattered. They stepped into the cold night, carrying whatever they could grab, leaving behind the warmth they thought they could steal. When the last door shut and silence finally settled, The lodge felt different. Their laughter still clung to the air, their mugs still warm, but the space breathed like it had been returned to itself. Not because of legal paperwork, not because of officers, because I reclaimed it without letting anger control me. This wasn't about revenge. It was about restoration. As I locked the door, something inside me clicked back into place. I didn't just win back my lodge. I won back the version of myself they thought they could erase. And that was the one outcome Mira could never predict.